So today I will be reviewing The Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 10, Episode 9. So this episode was pretty good. Things are starting to heat up in this series. So, I've watched this show for 10 years, since Season 1. And the whole time I never realized why I watched the show. Okay, I just thought, I was a little embarrassed. I thought it was a, guilty pleasure, mindless television. I was honest about that. You don't have to think too hard. So I thought. Turns out, the reason I like the show is because I enjoy figuring out which storylines are real, which ones are fake, who's right, and who's wrong. And I finally came to the conclusion that there's a lot of blame to go around. Like, at one time or another, everybody's wrong. That's what keeps the show so juicy. Like, there's no saint on the show. I mean, everybody at one time or another gets messy. That's just how it is. This is what makes me like the show. This, at episode 9, is when things start to get messy and everybody's damn wrong. So let's get into it. So the episode opens up with Kim and Sharrell. They're supposed to have a friendly dinner with Nene, the three originals. That's what I'm calling them. The three OGs were all supposed to sit down for a nice dinner, drinks, talk about good times, work on their friendships. That was the plan, okay? Now, as you know, nothing ever goes along according to plan. Now, when I say everybody's right, everybody's wrong, that's the truth. I need you guys to sit down and think about what I'm saying. Okay, so Nene didn't show up to the dinner. She said because there's a lot of elephants in the room and they need to talk about it before she could sit down to have a friendly dinner. Now, you could say this was dead ass wrong. You could say that was the sit down to talk about it at dinner. Like, really? Did you have to not show up and cause a big commotion? It depends on the eye of the beholder. It depends on who you are. Because, if I had a problem with my good buddies, I would sit down and talk to them about it. Where do you sit down? At dinner. Okay? You don't make a big announcement that I'm not coming. I don't call. You call me like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm not coming. This is drama. This is drama, people. But I can look at it that way, or I can look at it this way. This dinner was planned after Roachgate. That's what I'm calling Roachgate. No, they weren't roaches, people. They were water bugs. This happened after Nene invites Kim, her friend slash enemy slash enemy most of the time, to her brand new mansion. Not a house, people, a mansion. And Brielle was innocently Snapchatting in the bathroom, and there just happened to be, first there was 3, but now, according to Kim, 25 roaches in the bathroom. And Brielle just happened to put it on Snapchat. It depends on the eye of the beholder. Like, no. You're dead ass wrong at this point, in my opinion. Just let something like that happen to me. And the next thing I know, my so-called friend's daughter, grown daughter, 20, is on Snapchat talking about all the roaches in my bathroom. Eye of the beholder. In my opinion, you're dead ass wrong. Therefore, Nene gets a pass on this one. No, then you don't just come up and talk to me the next time I see you as if nothing happened. No, you're wrong. And I'm trying to figure out, why doesn't Kim give Nene the apology she deserves, okay? Why aren't you faulting Brielle in this at all? Kim's definition, now she's eating with Sharrell because Nene's not showing up because of the elephants in the room, and I would be mad too. Like, no. She's not defending, she's not excusing or saying apology at all for Brielle's actions. She's defending her shade-throwing daughter. Now, this is wrong. This is wrong, Kim. But no, so now she's at dinner with Sharrell and she goes in how Nene has roaches in her bathroom and how Brielle was innocently Snapchatting and put them on Snapchat. You're wrong. You're dead ass wrong, Kim. You're dead ass wrong, okay? So, I have the beholder. So, if I have to say who's causing mess in this scene, it has gotten this bad with these women. I go down to scenes, who's right, who's wrong. I'm gonna have to go with Nene's right on this one. You have to apologize, Kim, for her bad behavior. But not only are you not apologizing, you're insisting that Brielle was right. and their house is dirty. Her mansion, $2 million mansion, brand new mansion. I forgot to mention that. You don't say things like that to your friend / enemy. You just don't do it. So I understand Nene's attitude. What I'm thinking is getting out of hand is Nene's attitude is shifting to Sharrell. What does Sharrell have to do with this? Nothing. Nothing at all. Okay, so Nene is saying that Sharrell invited Kim to the mansion uninvited. Well, you should have said something at the time if you didn't want her there. You're wrong with this. You're shifting your anger to the wrong person. Sharrell is not your enemy. As a matter of fact, Sharrell hasn't done anything wrong in my opinion. Now, everybody's on Sharrell's case because she's dating an inmate. And not only an inmate that is in jail for supposedly stealing, money laundering, however you want to put it, putting his hands on money that's not his. And Sharrell has a lot of money. Sharrell has a big house. People are concerned, Sharrell. They are concerned. But Sharrell's upset because Nene called her boyfriend, possibly husband, we don't know. The rumors are out there that it's husband, but okay, let's say it's boyfriend. Putting rumors out there that her husband / boyfriend is a con artist. Sharrell, you gotta expect this to happen, and it could be out of love that she's calling him a con. He is! I mean, he's an alleged con. And I can't even say the word alleged, because actually he was convicted of being a con artist. This is love. These are people who care about you, Sharrell, but you're taking it the wrong way. So the next scene, you have innocent Cynthia. I really like Cynthia. Now, I can't say that. She's the only one on the show thus far that's not really a shit starter. Okay, she might be the most innocent one of it all. But she's getting flack because she has a new boyfriend named Will. Cute. And Candy and Kenya are very protective because Candy, says he was on a dating show on television before. Candy, listen, I understand your concern, but you have to step back just a little bit and remember all the flack you got for Marian dating Todd. Remember, that lasted a good 3 seasons. I mean, it was a lot. So, I understand your concerns. Candy saying, Will might just want to be attached to someone that's in the limelight. This is true. Kenya, you get a lot of flack for your relationship. You should be the last person to have anything to say about Cynthia's relationship. You should just shut up from day one, especially the way she's holding you down with your relationship, because everybody but Kenya is saying that your relationship is fake. Okay, so, but I understand their concern. I would be a little concerned. He was on a dating show. And, he's taking trips to Brazil. This episode he told Cynthia that he was going out of town to Brazil, which Kenya happened to inform me. I didn't know. Maybe I'm the only one who didn't know that prostitution's legal. But in Cynthia's defense, and Kenya was basically saying, calm down. Just to slow these things down, Cynthia. You're acting like a 5th grade schoolgirl crush. Cynthia's palms sweat when he walks in the room. She gets all giddy. She doesn't know what to say. You're 50. I get Cynthia's point. But in her defense, Will is so cute. Like, I'm giddy watching him. He is cute. So Nene decides to have a elephant room party. What the intent was to everyone to talk about their problems and let's clear up these problems before they turn into bigger problems. So she decided to invite this energy reader. I mean, if that's what you want to call her, I would say, a nut job, personally, And I always thought that the Real House of Beverly Hills, the season that Camille was on when she brought the medium to the show, was the craziest, energy reader, medium that was on the history of television, until Nene has now outdone her. This girl is baddier than a fruitcake. I mean, it was bad. She collected everybody's phones. She had an attitude. She was just like, I want to be the boss. And she was supposed to be helping everybody with these problems. We sit in the room. She says she gets bad vibes from Kim. She gets bad vibes from Portia. No, you're not an energy reader. You're what I call a shit starter. I mean, it was definitely, and she was an equal opportunity shit starter. Like, she was just calling bad vibes on everybody. So much so, I believe it was Kenya, was like, you gotta go. You gotta go. She had to go. She was not clearing things up. So the group was forced on their own to try to get through these problems. But if they were able to do it on their own, they wouldn't need this nut job. I would have just ended the dinner or the party right there, but they decided to carry on. And it starts with Kenya. Kenya's snapping bad vibes at Kim every chance she gets. You need to put your phone down. If we all had to put ours down, you have to put yours down too. Kim is continuously ignoring any jab that Kenya's throwing her way. She said that she got her into a bad vibe once. Kenya will not do it again. I applaud that. You know, Kenya was coming for Kim. I don't really know why these two hate each other, because it all started at Sharrell's party when Kim was really defending Sharrell and Kenya really was acting a fool. But now they have inherited this problem on their own, and it's escalated to the point of no return in my book, because Kim said that Kenya is now talking about her daughter. Now, all bets are off when you're talking about the kids, in my opinion. Brielle is not a kid in my book anymore. She's a shit starting kid. She's a shit starter. Ever since she did that thing with Nene, I'm kind of done with her and Kim. Like, no, you cannot just go around and say anything that you want and cause all kind of trouble and then hide under the label kid. You're not a kid. No, you're a shit starter, okay? Messy as hell. Messy, messy, messy. And I believe you're the one that created this problem between Nene and Kim, because it wasn't even Kim. But your mom decides to defend you. Now she's inherited the problem herself. So Nene accuses Kim of being this elephant in the room and they don't want to talk about it. Now Kim isn't being apologetic at all. Kim is being a shade thrower. She's short. She's laughing. She's rolling her eyes when people are accusing. She's flat out refusing to talk to Kenya. Now, I agree with that. Kenya's like not trying to resolve things with her. Kenya's mad. And Kenya's going for the juggler. You have all these women. Now they're divided up into teams. It's Sharrell, Portia, and Kim against Nene, Kenya, and Cynthia. Because Cynthia is all team Kenya. Now, no one's really solving any problems here. No one's trying to talk about any problems. Candy, the responsible one in the group, once the spirit reader left the room, got kicked out, she decides to ask Portia, what were your feelings about the tea party that they had the previous episode? And Portia says, I just didn't like Nene's energy in the room. She was making faces the way she is now. Let me see if I can get the face. When Nene was like this. She does do that. She does do that. Like, no, that's not going to reconcile anything, Nene. She was saying she didn't feel anything was accomplished. Nene kept doing this the whole time. And, nothing was getting accomplished even with Candy. Now, Candy tried, child. She really tried. And somehow the conversation led from from Portia to Tyrone, okay? Now, Sheree is hyper sensitive about her man Tyrone. Now, she could be in love with him. He could be a good guy. But she has to understand the way he's introduced to the group. He's introduced as a felon. And then Nene brought up he's a con artist. Well, listen. This is not throwing shade, Sheree. Don't be hypersensitive. If, some people can look at it as throwing shade. Some people can look at it as she's concerned about you. He's a felon. And, at this point in your relationship, what you and Tyrone have is strictly between you and Tyrone because nobody else knows him. That loving, giving side. All we know is, what's on paper. But, Sheree isn't trying to hear it. So she gets hyper defensive about Tyrone. She says, Nene, I heard you accuse him of being a con artist. And Nene says, he is. She has a point. But you might want to step back, Nene, if she's your friend, and be supportive. But I feel like Nene feels like every time she feels like it, she could just say what she wants and she calls it the truth. And I could say it's for a storyline, but she kind of did Wendy Williams the same way. If you don't like what she's saying, she feels like she has the right to say it because in her opinion, it's the truth. That doesn't really hold together friendships if you keep hurting people's feelings. Now, I'm not saying what you're saying isn't right. I mean, technically, con artists are felons. Much so, Kenya's trying to talk to Candy about why she doesn't like Sharrell. Kim's not hearing why she doesn't like Kim. Kim's rolling her eyes and refuses to talk. She's on her phone. Kenya says, do you want to say anything about it? No, I don't. That's not how you resolve problems, Kim. And it just got so bad that everyone was like, this isn't working, we're out of here. The group busted up. It was Nina who says to Kim, can you stay behind so we can talk? Very calm. Very reasonable. She was not being the irresponsible, shit-starting Nene that she could be. No, the tables flip. It was Kim. Nene starts out, I didn't understand your behavior the last time we saw you. And Kim was like, what don't you understand? And then she accused Nene of being on drugs when actually Nene was looking for apology for Waterbug Gate, not Roach Gate. Those were not roaches, they were water bugs. And she just refused to apologize. She was negative. She was rolling her eyes. Nene was the calm one. That's why I say they all take turns of being guilty. And this episode, Kim team guilty. She didn't even try. Nene was just done with it. Nene was like, you don't think you were acting inappropriate? You're going to accuse me of being on drugs? Yeah, you were on something. Something was wrong with your behavior. She tried to flip the script. Instead of taking responsibility for her daughter's poor behavior. It was a mess, child. It was a mess. And so now I have to do these reviews like who's guilty and who's innocent. This episode, Kim. But you know what happens though? This leads to more drama and more interesting storylines. Like something must be wrong with me. Like I love getting to the bottom of who is right and who's wrong for these ridiculous storylines. And they're so ridiculous, but attitudes get so ridiculous till they turn into really, really serious storylines. And this whole Roachgate is a really serious storyline at this point because you don't do that to me and then live to talk about it. And now the whole Tyrone thing is turning into a really serious storyline because what if they're telling the truth, Sheree? I'm just saying you might want to slow down. I'm not calling him a convict, even though I could in theory. He's convicted. You might just want to slow down. Let people be concerned about you. We don't want this to turn into another messy situation where you come up on the short end of the stick. But we have the rest of these episodes to really deal with these now serious storylines. Is Tyrone a real con artist? We shall know. We shall see. Is Kim going to make her behavior worse when at the end of the day she owes Nene an apology? We shall see. And I'll be there for every episode. So, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.